Right now, thousands of UK companies are paying over £10,000 a year for a business phone line. Hopefully that's not you. Huge hidden fees, super long contracts and dated tech are what you're paying all that money for. But there's a cheaper, better solution right in front of your nose. And it's courtesy of Google. Google Voice has given my clients total control over their business communications and has been shown to significantly increase team productivity without tying them to frankly archaic and expensive contracts. So before you sign that phone deal, let's see how incredible Google Voice really is. Unlike legacy systems that trap you into long contracts, Google Voice is designed to give business owners freedom and control. There's no long-term commitments, no hidden fees, and you can cancel at any time. You pay per team member per month for only what you need. Add team members as your team grows. Remove them if it shrinks. This simple change can instantly save you thousands each year. Just like Gmail filters out spam emails automatically, Google Voice keeps unwanted calls away from your busy team. Call screening lets your team answer only the calls they want, and reporting spam will block numbers instantly. On the other hand, legacy systems leave your team widely exposed. Google Voice doesn't just cut your costs right down, it actually makes your team way more productive, including, but definitely not limited to, AI call handling, calendar integration, voicemail transcript, and smart notifications will simplify your team's workflow, allowing them to work more and admin less. There are even regular updates and improvements. Some recent ones are three-way calling and outbound line control, so you can always show your business number. And with automatic updates, features like AI-powered tools, enhanced spam filtering, and call summaries are added as features without any extra charge to your business. If it isn't a no-brainer to you right now, stick around because it soon will be. And if you ever have or were about to sign up to one of those hideous legacy phone providers, let me explain why these providers probably should be exposed and then buried forever. Legacy VoIP providers depend on locking businesses into long-term contracts. If they don't trap you, they will go out of business very quickly. Once you sign, escaping is nearly impossible. By the time most small businesses realise that they're completely and utterly stuck, they've already paid tens of thousands in hidden fees and charges and costs and emotional damage. Here are the super secret and frankly anger-inducing traps that these legacy phone system providers utilise to basically bankrupt you as quickly as possible. First, it's not the long-term contracts. It's not just the hidden fees, although they're definitely there. It's the mis-selling. Legacy VoIP providers often disguise the true length of your agreement. What sounds like a simple 3-year deal can quite easily become a 5 or even 7-year once you've signed. And by the time you've realised you're locked in, paying through the nose for tech that's already outdated, even a small misstep can cost your business thousands, as you will hear about shortly with some real life examples. Another thing worth mentioning, if a VoIP provider has to send a salesperson to your premises to close the deal, that's a massive, massive red flag. The only reason they're sending someone in person is because they need pressure tactics to make the sale. Good tech doesn't need a hard sale. Next thing they slam you with is hidden maintenance costs. Annual maintenance fees sometimes appear after the first year, without warning, like that promotional rate on your internet bill that quietly explodes in month 13. You signed a simple contract only to wake up a year later buried in massive and definitely unexpected bills. It's real numbers and it happens to real businesses every day. And then there's ownership issues. Lease phones often remain the property of the legacy provider. After paying thousands, you don't even own those phones. Lastly, there's no cooling off period. UK law doesn't protect companies from these contracts. Once you've signed, you're financially responsible, even if the sales pitch was misleading. And of course it was. And you can legally do nothing about it. Sorry. And if you're still not convinced just how damaging these phone systems can be, let me walk you through a real life example uncovered by the BBC last November. There's a link in the description to the article. Take Paul, for example. He ran a pest control business and thought he was signing a simple 2-year deal. Instead, Paul somehow ended up in a 7-year lease through a sketchy third-party finance company. 7 years. That's basically a lifetime in phone years. And after those 7 years, what did he get for all his troubles? Paul paid over £10,000 and got to use 3 basic phones, probably worth £200 each. Glorified paperweights. And arguably the saddest part of this story, Paul didn't even own them after 7 years. So now, not only was Paul out of a fortune, he faced bigger problems than the pests he usually deals with. And Paul wasn't alone. Another BBC case involved a company offering what looked like a simple 5-year deal. It sounded reasonable enough, right? Except the contract actually stretched to 84 months. That's 7 years. And buried deep in the fine print was the outrageous £983 per month maintenance charge. Complaints to Ofcom and CISA often fail, leaving businesses exposed. So don't forget about the legal reality. Consumer law only protects individuals, not businesses. Paul learned the hard way when CISA demanded proof of exactly what he signed. So after seeing how quickly these contracts can trap businesses, it's easy to understand why so many companies end up losing money. Now let's leave the pests behind and look at the real numbers. Here's exactly what staying locked in can cost your business and what freedom could save you. Imagine a small team of 5 people on Google Voice. Each costs £20 a month. That's £120 a month in total, or £1,200 a year. Now compare that to the hidden costs of legacy phone systems where, like Paul, 3 phones and a line cost over £10,000. Yes, that's 10 grand, and probably a contract longer than your office lease. With Google Voice, there are actually 3 levels of pricing: £10 for the starter service, around £20 for the standard service, and £24 for the premier service. For startups, scale-ups and small to mid-sized businesses, I recommend the standard service package. Switching to Google Voice doesn't just save your business thousands a year, it also keeps your team more productive, more flexible and far more sane. Plus the system scales with your business. Need to add one more team member? One click and they're set up. Need to remove a team member and you save money immediately. And you can generate numbers for any geographical region. Spam calls are blocked automatically before they reach anyone. Important calls get routed to the right person, and AI takes care of those tasks like auto attendance and voicemail transcription, so your team can focus on the work that actually matters, their work. Unlike traditional phone systems, Google Voice keeps your team connected and productive. Everything just works together without the many slowdowns and frustrations of legacy systems. It also plugs right into the tools your team already uses, so communication flows naturally. Auto attendance handle call handling menus, ring groups notify departments automatically, and Google Calendar integration prevents interruptions during meetings. Now your team can actually work without feeling like the phone is auditioning them for the most annoying co-worker. Voicemail transcription lets you read the messages instantly without ever having to pick up the phone. Bonus. Because let's be honest, who actually likes answering calls anymore? Think about it. Picking up the phone interrupts focus and reduces efficiency. It's like having someone come over to your desk in the office mid-task and demanding your attention. Even if they're lovely about it, we all know how frustrating it feels. That's why everyone, including top companies, rely on messaging, video and cloud tools instead. And if everyone's doing it, then again, it's a no-brainer. 3-way calling makes collaboration simple, and for bigger calls, you can do a video call through Google Meet. Now that you see how much smarter and smoother work can be, it's time to make the switch. Here's a straightforward guide to getting started with Google Voice. First off, audit your current contract. Identify any exit points, review termination clauses. You can stick it into Notebook LM to find those clauses. I've got a video about Notebook LM. We'll link to it down below in the description. Next, plan the transition. Decide how many team members you need on Google Voice. Then you've got to set up Google Workspace integration for chat, video and productivity tools. Google Voice does require that you're using Google Workspace. You can then migrate your existing phone numbers over to Google Voice to avoid any disruption. And before you go live, let's train your team members on the new features like the AI auto attendance, voicemail transcription and ring groups. If you follow these steps, you'll be up and running in pretty much no time. But if you're ready to make it happen, book a video call with us at Kimbley IT and let's get your switch to Google Voice sorted.